What's up?
How are you?
It's so good. It's so good to finally talk to you. Holy shit.
Right. We've never talked
I
before.
know. That's all. I'm like, damn, it feels like we've been like I've been in your life for a long time, or you've been in my life for a long time.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, yo, it was so funny because I realized I DM'd you like so long ago.
Yeah, right. In 2016 or something, right?
Yeah, it's like 2015 or some shit. I was like living in New York City, but like I looked back and I was like, yo, I may have saw the future, but I don't know.
Right. I think I remember what you texted me. It was like, do you want to hang out and paint or
Yes,
something?
for sure I said that. I was in a crazy painting phase at one point, and I was like, I just want to have friends, and I just want to paint with like anybody I could.
Ooh.
But I'm not good at painting at all. I'm
So was
very
that like a thing you did? Just paint with random people and get to know
yeah
people and
yeah
really?
loved yeah. That was like the easiest way for me to hear people's stories because I feel like everybody's story is so unique.
Do
That
you do meditation?
yes. So I started. I've been into that a lot.
Ah, I've never tried it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, meditation. It's like people think like meditation is like this form of like let me like float, which there is. There's definitely forms of that, but then it's also songwriting. It's also sitting and looking at a view and watching the sunset. It's also, making tea in the morning. You know,
Painting.
meditation is really where you can escape from your mind. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So meditation is escaping from your mind and being present.
No, but it's kind of like what you're saying with like staying active and exercising your body. It's kind of what you're doing with your brain and your mindset.
Yeah,
What you're saying with the mindfulness and meditation.
totally. Well, what are things you do now to like make yourself happy?
Um, I think what I like to do is be in the studio and write for sure. Cook. I like to run.
Okay.
But I haven't been able to do much of that because I'm quarantined at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's crazy because I feel less happy.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Which just made me realize how I should prioritize it more, even in my like when I'm working, I should put in the time to do those things because it's kind of like you said. I feel like running is my kind of meditation because it just like I let my brain just go to wherever it wants. So, but yeah, I should definitely try the apps you were
Yeah.
recommending.
All we have is the art we make and what we leave behind, right? And
Yeah.
so sometimes for me at least, I'll get in the studio and be like, I need to make something good and I need to do this and I need to have this. And, and then you just kind of put all this unnecessary pressure on your work and your art and do things for me at least. And so like in my everyday life, sometimes I'll just be distracted and get depressed and I'll lose my happiness. At the beginning of quarantine, I was fucked. I was so fucked. Like the very,
How?
because
Like what?
just so depressed. I was so down, very down.
Really?
So I finished my album in like January, right? Or
Yeah.
February. I finished it all up in like February, March, and like recorded it at least. So I recorded everything in January, February, March idea. And I was supposed to go on tour for the whole year and I was thing. And I've been touring for the last 2 years. So, 2 years ago, my dad passed away, right?
I'm
When he
so sorry. I didn't know that.
yeah, so that was like awful, and I was really close with him, so it kind of just messed me up really bad for the last 2 years. But I've been touring for the last 2 years, and I've been putting out music, so I've been distracting myself, and it's been kind of like this go 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 kind of thing. And
Oh
when
yeah, that makes
quarantine
sense.
hit, I'm a very positive person, but when quarantine hit, I was pretty much in just really depressed kind of state, and I thought I was gonna be perfect. I was like, oh, I'm used to this. I'm used to quarantine. Like I was sick. I was living in a hospital. I can be locked in, But then all this stuff started coming back. Like I didn't have the time to grieve my father's death. I didn't have time to, sit in my thoughts about my childhood and my past traumas and things that I've been through as a kid. And things that I went through when I was going through cancer, and I kind of swept all this thing, like all these, like under a rug, and I kept them, you know, I pushed them all away. So now I'm in my house and I have nothing to do and I'm trapped and there's no idea what's going to happen in the future. You know, you're kind of just in this limbo stage. And then that's when all these just like things started coming back up, and you can't push the past away. You have to clear everything. You can't like hide it and pretend it doesn't exist, because it's always going to come back no matter what, or it's always going to stay with you no matter what. As you get older, you'll put it onto your kids, you'll do this whole thing. And so for me, I'm just was trying to figure out why I was so depressed. So this whole quarantine has been literally detoxing. I haven't written one song. I haven't done anything artistically, because I'm just like, if I want to give my full artistry, I need to fully be who I like. I need to tap into someone that I haven't been yet, you know? Thank you for doing the song too.
No,
I
of
literally,
course.
I was like, I liked the song, but then when you did it, I loved the song.
Oh,
You know, I was just like, I did it, but I was like, this is the first time I've done like a duet or feature kind of thing. But also,
right.
it's the first time I've written a song about a relationship that's been kind of a mature way of a
Relation-
relationship. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Because I'm not sure what this song even like. Can you tell me what it's about and where it
Well,
came from?
literally, it's just kind of because all my last project, I think everything's a growth. So in relationships, I was very, if you fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you. If you do, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing, where it's just, if I'm not happy, she shouldn't be happy. You know, those kind of things. But then you realize in a relationship, if something doesn't work, it's okay to let it go.
That's true. I feel like quarantine is a good test for any relationship.
Every relationship has failed, I think, in quarantine. So,
A lot of them, yeah, I think so too.
which
But
is
do you feel like,
beautiful.
sorry?
I was like, which is beautiful, but I'm like, ready. I was like,
But do you feel like that way of ending a relationship was that harder to get over, because it's not like, because no one did anything bad, it's like if anyone did anything bad, it's maybe easier to just like lean on that and be
or,
like, you know what I'm saying?
fuck that person. Yeah, no, I
Right.
think, what were you saying? Sorry.
Like if you, was it easier or was it harder because you,
I think it was easier because I knew it just wasn't working. And I know
right.
it became, my mind became clear of completion of self. And that's what I've learned in therapy is I need to learn how to complete myself, which means love myself fully enough. And if I'm doing me and I'm doing the things that make me happy, like fully make me happy, right? And I'm fully embracing my energy that I can bring, I'm going to meet somebody who's doing the exact same thing for themselves, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to click and you're like, oh, I'm completed. Together, we make life more sweet. It's the cherry on top. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I shouldn't be the reason you're happy.
Right.
No person should
Yeah.
ever be, because that's conditional love. That's, I love you because you make me happy. When are you in a relationship right now?
No. I actually just ended a relationship right before quarantine.
Oh, really?
So this like it's very like similar to what you went through. It just wasn't working because we weren't in a good place individually. So it was pretty much like exactly how your breakup went, and everything was happening, and I was supposed to go on tour as well. And then in quarantine, it just all hit me, like the heartbreak and everything. And I had moved out, and I moved out alone for the first time in my life. So I was just sitting in this apartment, like, fuck, what I'm gonna do.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, but it was actually pretty nice as well because I got to work on the album full time instead of like touring while I was finishing the album. So I got to put all my, like the last song I released, I got to just write some more songs about it and get it all out. But
Amazing.
yeah.
Is that the last song you released was about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wonder what's happening with her life.
Right. No, but I feel like what you're saying with like I wasn't really in a good place. Not with him, but just with myself. And I feel like after we ended things, that when I got to focus on myself and just being with my friends and figuring out what makes me happy and what I need in my life, I just feel like I have so much more to give now. Like with my music and with everyone in my life that I care about, I just have so much more love. My phone died. Sorry.
That's what I figured. I was like, I hope my phone died. Where were we?
We were your album. I was saying I think that Closing Doors is also hopeful, even though it's sad. It's got like some hope in it.
For sure.
At least I feel like that. I feel like it also, it's crazy because when I got the request to sing on it, and I listened to it, that was like right before my relationship ended. So I really felt like, it's so crazy, but I felt like when I heard that song that it was just something I really needed to hear. That kind of like,
wow.
But it's true because I feel like I hadn't looked at it that way, where it's like, I know it's a cliche, but with the song, it's just basically saying how some doors close for other ones to open, and that's okay. And it's supposed to be hard, but it's, you know, I feel like, yeah, I'm really, really grateful to be on that song, because I think it's so beautiful, and it's been an important one to me.
Thank you.
Really.
Thank you. You made the song, if I can be honest. We all loved it. We all heard it and we're like, what the fuck is this?
Really?
Yeah. We were all so excited because I'm very picky with people. I'm very like, I don't want it. I don't want it. Like, you know, and then I heard your voice and I was like, yo, that'd be so cool if she could get on it, you know? And I was like, that would be such an interesting, just tones together. Because I'm like, I'm all about tones.
Yeah.
You know, and that, like, and so when we got it back, I was like, fuck, like, it's just something I've never heard. And it's like a ballad I've never heard. There's nothing I can compare it to, you know?
No, right.
And I'm trying to find a feeling that I've felt that, but there's no feeling that I've felt from that song in another song. So it was just more of like those kind of things. And so when I play it for people, they're just like, yo, your tones together are so dope because I've never heard voices.
Really?
Yeah, which makes me super happy and people can just feel it. You know, and so it was
That's
really
the most important.
Yeah, so for me it was just super special and like I'm so thankful that you got on it because I'm just like fuck, like it just put more life into it. So I was like fuck, like it was so, that's when I hit you up right when I heard it. I was like, yo, this shit's crazy. No, so I'm so excited for your album. What would you say, what's your album kind of about?
It's kind of about, it's basically the same as our song. It's called Leave It Beautiful. So it's about how you let something or someone go before it ends bad and you sabotage it, and just to be grateful to have had a beautiful time with someone, instead of, you know, I feel like, at least for me, I can sometimes like wait until it goes bad and then I'll use those reasons to end it, instead of just what do you call it? Like, instead of just being at peace with it just not working out, like you were saying. So yeah, it's basically about that, I think, in all the nuances of a breakup or things coming to an end. Some happy songs, some sad songs.
When's your album coming?
October 16th.
So I think that's, when is ours? November 20th.
Okay.
November. Yo, thank you so much for this call. I'm so glad we did this.
Same. Thank you so much for taking your time.
I'm gonna call you more. So now, like, now we got to know each other. Now, like, if you get a random call by me, it's just, yeah, it's not, it won't be recorded. It's just gonna be me. So,
okay, nice.
You know, have the best rest of your day. I can't wait for the song to come out this week, so we have to celebrate.
We have to, yeah.
So, you know, more.
So nice to meet you finally.
I know, so great to meet you. I hope to see you soon.